All right, I'm going to be working with Castor, progressing with touching the stick. So this is the next session. And I've just progressed from like touching his face to going down his neck, on his shoulder, and a little bit on his front legs, like the upper foreleg. So he's standing pretty nice. He has got a little bit of tension in his neck here. Could be worse, could be better. I don't like how he's kind of splayed out in front with his front legs either. He seems a little tense there too. So I could work on getting some more relaxation with that as well. And I'm just gonna let you guys watch him eat for a minute, and then I'll cut out everything else where he's eating. He's not moving his bowl back as much. I like how he's coming out of the bowl. He's nice and relaxed. He's got that level top line. A little bit of him moving his head away. He's not sure. He's like, I don't really want you to touch me. So I probably should have worked on, so you can see that frustration come out with the pawing. Should have worked on him targeting me, which you'll see later on because I figure this out. And I'm like, okay, that makes more sense. And then from there, it just got much easier. But I should have had him touch me, and he would have been a lot more willing to stay. And we wouldn't have this where he's turning his head, see his head come up and kind of turn away. So definitely shouldn't have progressed with more touching here. He's kind of showing me he's tense, but he wants to stay. Again, he's conflicted. So I gotta watch rewarding him when he was leaning in there too. So I cut out where he was eating. This approach was really good. I should have just stopped there and clicked right away because that was perfect. I shouldn't have continued to pet him. I got real focused on putting the halter on and working on that. Even though he had been haltered, it wasn't consistent and leading wasn't consistent. So I just went to like over the main thing, and I shouldn't have because he was so good right there. I should have just left it. That was perfect. So let him hang out. Again, really nice approach here. So I should have clicked right here and been done and give him the treat and backed up again, which I was pretty good on my timing there. That wasn't too bad at all. A little bit faster, but really not overall not bad. So again, I like how he's chewing nice and relaxed. I like his body language here. I like this. A little bit of tension there. So I should have gone slower, not so fast at the strokes, but overall not too bad. You see he's a little tense where I was getting the food out, so I should be nice and slow in my food delivery. And again, while I was doing this, so nice approach again, like I believe I was using grain. It might have been some Timothy pellets. I'm not sure if I had transitioned to that point yet. I'm pretty sure it was grain, which I'm just, at the time, I was like, oh, I want him to stay and work with me, because you can see how he's leaning back here, where his legs are like splayed out in front of him. He's worried. He wants to leave, and then he does leave. So he's conflicted the whole time, and I'm thinking the grain is, it's keeping him here, but I'm not understanding how conflicted he is. But yeah, and then it kind of blows up with that. But see, the reason he was really tense is I didn't back up that time. I was trying to give him a jackpot because he had done so well, and for whatever reason I was, oh, okay, I was wanting him to stand next to me and eat, and he was just like, oh no, he didn't feel comfortable putting his head down while I was that close to him. And then I'm gonna come up to him. See how as soon as I come up to him while his head's down, he goes, oh, right into tension and almost flight there. So he just, in the beginning, they were both very sensitive about where their head was at when I was around them. They don't know if I'm gonna, jump out and attack them or whatever. So they felt vulnerable with their head down. But it was just interesting. Here's a calming signal. He's turning away. He's he's kind of still splayed. Okay, that's better with his front legs. He's going back down. He's coming back down from that tension. He's straightening out his balance. He's lowering his head and neck. He's looking at me. His ears are moving. That looks a lot better. But it was an interesting clip to see that tension build and then kind of explode and then come back down. So that was pretty cool. I don't want him to get into that tension, but it's a good example to see and kind of show like, okay, these are the places I could have stopped in order for that to get worse. So I like all of this. This is pretty nice. And then he goes back and there's like a couple little crumbs on the bottom, and he comes all the way back down and goes back to grazing mode. So that was a good little sequence of behavior. And then I leave. So that was actually pretty good timing on my part. He goes and relaxes, and then I leave because that's still a reward for him. My presence leaving is a reward. It's negative reinforcement, but it's rewarding to him. So that looks really good. That was perfect right there. He was nice and relaxed when I came up. I just touched him with a stick and then I rewarded him. Again, that was really good. And I should have probably done a little bit less stroking. but not too bad. He's a little skeptical, but not as much tension as before. And I haven't introduced the lash at all. I'm just focusing on the stick. And I probably, again, should have gone to getting my food softer. So I clicked and then immediately ran and like got into my pouch really fast and fed really fast. And I don't want to have my energy cause him anxiety by like hurrying myself. So I should have just been a little bit slower. And he was pretty good there. He was okay with the stick on his shoulder. See, he's gotten a little tension here. He's looking for the food. I'm trying to just wait until he's being more relaxed. That's better. And then he can have the food. That's pretty good right there. I like this again. Really nice body language. A little bit of leaning away, but overall not too bad. And he's staying more relaxed as I'm feeding him. He still has some tension, but it was better than the clip before. Again, this looks really good. And I did do the same thing on the other side, but it was harder to see, and it was the same exact thing. So yeah, he hears the click, and then that's where he starts moving his head around, and he gets too excited. So again, the grain is causing that, and I'm not waiting long enough for the relaxation as well. He's actually curious about the end of the stick. He's moving his head toward me a little bit. Pretty good session. He's definitely becoming braver.